morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the ACA Small Business Bootcamp and Resource Collective for this Tuesday, January 12th. We're excited to have you here. I'm Robert Theobald, Small Business Ombudsman and Vice President of Small Business Services at the Arizona Commerce Authority. I want to first start by thanking all of our community partners. We could not do these boot camps without the community partners. Their expertise and time and effort is invaluable, and we really appreciate their support of the program. The Small Business Bootcamp and Resource Collective is designed to help small businesses work through the COVID crisis and return stronger than ever. It's a statewide initiative supported by all of our community partners, those listed on the previous page. We have over 100 community partners that have helped provide content and resources for our boot camps and the Resource Collective. You can access information about the boot camp, the registration pages, and the archives on our Small Business Bootcamp web page. It's the same page you went to register for this session. And on that, we record all the bootcamp sessions, and we have all of the previous sessions listed on that page. At the bottom of the page under the archive, you can go by week and find all of our previous sessions. So if there's a session that you wanted to watch and missed it for some reason, or watched and want to go back and review it, the information is there for you to access. Additionally, we have our Resource Collective, and that is linked on that website as well. And the Resource Collective provides tools and resources from our community partners to help support small businesses during this time. This is just a sample list of some of the resources available on the Resource Collective. Guides for retail, restaurants, construction, manufacturing, a number of different great items available to support small businesses. Some quick updates. Before I get to this list, I want to mention that the PPP program has reopened for small businesses. Starting yesterday, the first draw part has opened. So if you're a small business that did not get a PPP loan in 2020, you may be eligible to get one as part of the first draw. On Wednesday, those that are looking for a second draw can apply for a second round if they meet the criteria. We are going to have a PPP session tomorrow, and I'll talk more about that here in a bit. But for this week, for those businesses looking to get a first draw or second draw, to do that, you would need to go through a community financial institution. And we have those listed on this PPP Arizona lender list. After the community financial institutions have an opportunity to do loans, then the SBA has said that they will open it up to the rest of the lenders in the program, but they're giving the community financial institutions opportunities to get the loans out to small businesses, really small businesses throughout the various communities. So it's a great opportunity to do that. Some other programs that we also want to talk about that are part of the stimulus package are the Shuttered Venue Operator Grant Program. Additional details have not been released yet, but we have the basics of the program on our website. And as we have more information, we will list them at this website as well and link to the federal documents for that. Additionally, as part of the original CARES Act and some updates in the new stimulus package is the Employee Retention Tax Credit. This is a great program, and if you read through it, you can save a lot of money in your taxes with this program. I encourage everyone to reach out to their tax advisor, their accountant, to get more details on this, but there is a pretty good sized amount of funding that can be saved in your business through this program if you have employees. And then statewide, the Safest Outside Restaurant Assistance Program applications are still open. And if you have questions about that program, again, we have the link here to the website that lists details on that. And then you can apply or contact the program managers if you have additional questions. Additionally, if you have other questions about some of the business resources that may be available during this period, we have our COVID-19 Arizona Business Resources website. We list guidance, financial incentives, and many other things on that website, and we keep it updated as often as we get new information. We'd also like to talk about some of the programs that the ACA has for small businesses. First, we have our small business services, and that we can help support small businesses in navigating through the SBA, working with the SBDC, working with SCORE, local banking contacts, getting business started, licensing questions, etc. Our workforce division can help small businesses that are looking to hire or upskill their employees through some of the federal programs that they work with. And our Arizona MEP, our manufacturing extension partnership, can help manufacturers work from A to Z on their questions and challenges that they may be facing to help them grow and succeed. Additionally, we have our small business checklist. If you're looking to start a side gig or start a business, the checklist can help you identify the licensing, registration, and compliance needs at local, state, and federal levels. It's online. It's a pretty simple checklist, interactive. It's a great tool. You can find that at azcommerce.com/smallbiz. And then we always like to mention the state's COVID-19 information and resource webpage. A great tool for identifying all the different resources, not just business, but individual, volunteer, et cetera, resources that are available throughout the state for COVID-19. So looking at this week, we have a great session, a number of great sessions planned. Today we have a great social media marketing in 2021 with Giselle Aguiar. Giselle's been with us before, and she does a great job, and we're looking forward to today's presentation. Tomorrow, we have an update on the Paycheck Protection Program, and I want to note and highlight that tomorrow's session starts at 11 a.m. We normally start at 9 a.m., but tomorrow we adjusted that to 11 a.m. So we want to make special note of that. And then Thursday, we have leveraging LinkedIn to scale your business. We haven't touched on LinkedIn yet as an avenue for helping grow your business, but a lot of businesses are on LinkedIn, and so we're really excited about that session. So we're going to go ahead and turn the time over to Giselle. Giselle's the founder of Social Media Wiz, and she's also a SCORE mentor. And that's how I came in contact with Giselle, was through SCORE offices, but we're excited to have her with us. And so Giselle, I'm going to go ahead and turn the time over to you and let you get started.
Okay, let me share my screen and let me get this thing started. Okay. Well, yeah, I've been in business since with doing internet marketing since 1995, and yeah, that was before the internet was a household word. I help business owners like you all get started online. And I started my business in 2011. And whether you're a brand new startup or an established business who's pivoting and making adjustments to better compete in today's crazy economy, what I want to do today is just give you an idea of what's happening in digital marketing in 2021. And let me get over here. There we go. Okay, change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future.
Giselle, we're not seeing your slides. We're not seeing your presentation yet.
Oh, you're not? Okay, wait, hold on. Did I not do, hold on. Wait, sorry about that. Did I miss a step? Share, that's what I did. I missed a step. Pardon me. Okay. Okay, I hope you're seeing the Grand Canyon right now.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. All right. All right. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. What 2020 has taught us is that we need to be ready for change. And how do you plan for uncertainty? Well, you need to be flexible. Moreover, you need to be able to pivot in a short amount of time if you want to stay in business. So when the COVID-19 pandemic hit in March, most advertisers halted their digital campaigns, and this affected the social media networks with a loss of income. However, With people staying at home and having to connect online, their membership and usage went up tremendously. So hence, as companies reimagine their advertising, the social media networks are back and growing. Now, remember, when it comes to technology in the digital world, we don't know who's going to come up with the next great idea or who's going to fail. So the best thing to do is to keep up with all this stuff. And you have to, in order to be successful with your marketing efforts. So that might mean, subscribing to, a few sites like Social Media Today, and then there's several out there. Just to keep up with what's going on. So what I'm going to do is, there's 13 major social media trends to look for in 2020. And then I'm going to give you some steps in how to manage all this so you don't go crazy. Because you can go drive yourself crazy with this stuff. The first one is video marketing. So video and any animations are more eye-catching than still photographs and graphics. Have fun. First, not all videos need to be professionally done, but you should have, at least a couple of videos professionally done. Use your phone or tablet to record impromptu casual videos with greetings and messages. It's all about storytelling. So you're telling stories about, why you started your business, your passion for it, a little bit about your background. You're also telling success stories about, some of your clients. You don't have to use names. You can use hypothetical situations. But it's storytelling. That's the big thing. The other important thing is explain your benefits in the first 15 seconds of the video. Okay, you need to catch and grab somebody's attention when you start watching a video. You want them to watch the whole video, no matter how long it is, whatever length it is. Use eye-catching graphics. And do things that catch people's eyes. Movement catches people's eyes. Nostalgia and comfort. Okay, we all have what do they call it, the lockdown 15, because we were eating comfort food, to get us off from the stress. So people want nostalgia and comfort still in what they see in advertising. And again, I mentioned customer testimonials too, and I'll talk a little bit about that down the way. And upload them everywhere, YouTube, Instagram, Reels, IGTV. I'll talk about those in specific, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And in addition, embed them in your blog. Okay, so first, Instagram Reels and IGTV. So Instagram Reels, if you're trying to reach the average consumer, then Instagram is where you want to be. So Reels are short videos under 30 seconds uploaded directly into Instagram from a mobile device. For longer videos, Instagram has a separate app, IGTV, which connects to your Instagram account. So sometimes you'll see a video on Instagram and it says, keep watching on IGTV. So then it actually switches over to the other app without really opening it. I don't know the technical way how they do that, but so you can watch the whole longer video. So you could do a 10, 15-minute video and you get like maybe a 5 or 10 second preview on Instagram. Okay, then we have stories. Okay, everybody, including LinkedIn and Twitter now, have a stories feature. So stories are short videos, again, which appear in the top of the user's feed. Now, these are like 5, 10 seconds. They're not very, very long, but they do get more visibility because they appear at the top of the feed. LinkedIn is just rolling this out, and so is Twitter. So not everybody can see it yet. They're still, because they're brand new features. But what makes them different from Reels is that on Instagram is that they disappear in 24 hours. And that's how they are in all of the networks. So I got a question in the last webinar that I did. Well, what good is it if it disappears in 24 hours? And I'm like, yeah, I think the same thing too. But the strategy here is, so videos take time to prepare and record and edit, and you don't want it wasted. So the idea is to reuse them. What this entails is having several different videos pre-recorded and alternate posting them. So don't post the same ones over and over again. That's a sure way to lose followers fast. But like sometimes stories, if you want to do just a quick update of something, if you want to announce an event or, live broadcasting or something that's coming up, you can do that. in stories. So I mean, the best thing to do is look at some of your competitors and see what they're doing regarding stories to see, and so you get some ideas that way. And I'll talk about competition in a minute too. All right, animated GIFs. Okay, they're fun and eye-catching. Now this is when it comes to visuals, nothing beats an animation. They catch people's attention. The free and there's a free online graphics tools called Canva. It's CANV as in Victor A.com, and now has the ability to easily create animations. A client of mine made this one on Canva, and he put this on his blog for us. And I'm like, I don't think this is a good one to put on your blog. Just use it for social media because it is very eye-catching. On that one. All right, let's get rid of the sharks. All right. Live broadcasting. Everybody's doing it. Should you do it? Well, the question is, will this help reach your audience? And you got your current customers and you got potential customers. So it will help you if you already have a social media following. Check your analytics and insights on your social networks to see when your following is most likely to be on a network. And there's several tools you can do that. Facebook provides that if you have at least if you have to have 50 to 100 followers, so LinkedIn can give you some insights on them. But first, it might be a lot of hit or miss tries. Promote your live broadcast ahead of time, and if you have an email list, promote it to them. A live Q&A session with an expert, in your company or business or yourself, usually attracts people with questions in your industry. What's cool is that your live session records, and you can download and use that video in other networks. Now, many platforms allow you to live stream to, say, on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So, or you can have two devices going, like your laptop camera, your phone, and your tablet at the same time, and each one's, broadcasting to a different network. Plan ahead where you're going to cover, but be prepared for participant questions that may take you off topic. Strategize what you'll say. You may want to script the intro or a short presentation, then open it up to for questions. Podcasting. So podcasts, and technically podcasts are just audio. There's some people that say podcasting and they call them videos too, like vlogging is a video blog. And it's basically a video of somebody just talking on in a microphone. Okay, for me, that's a video. Podcasting is just audio. And in my opinion, podcasts are way easier to produce. It's a popular way to reach your target audience, and I prefer them to videos because you don't have to worry about lighting. You don't have to worry if your hair looks good or what you're wearing. You also don't need fancy and expensive equipment. I do a personal podcast daily that I record through my headphones, these same ones I'm wearing now. And I write a blog article first, and that serves as my script, and it sounds more professional that way. And there's other different ways you can do podcasting. You could do a podcasting with a team member, somebody in your company, and do a chat and talk about stuff. You can also interview people. Now, if you're going to be doing a podcast, you gotta do it regularly, and you've got to commit to doing it. I committed to my daily one, and I do it daily. I've been doing it daily for over a year now. If you can't do it daily, then once a week, but commit to once a week or every other week. Once a month, you're kind of going to get lost with everybody else that's out there. I think it's not frequent enough. But again, you have to commit to doing it. And then if you're going to be interviewing people, you got to keep in mind that you have to prearrange the interview and make sure you've got the whatever platform you're using, that the technology is there and that person's available and everything's working and so forth. So, whatever works for your type of business, but I think podcasting is great. You listen to it on your phone. People listen to it while they're driving or exercising or running, and they don't have to watch it. So that's why, podcasting is different. A lot of people record a video and then strip the audio of it and put it into the podcast application. So there's different ways that you can do it. I have a website, an article on my website for podcasting. So if you go to my website, which is azsocialmediawiz.com, it's on the bottom of all the slides. and just search for podcasting and you'll get that article, and it goes into more details there. Influencer marketing. Okay, now this is going to be vital for B2B as well as B2C. That's business to business or business to consumer. This is where you find someone with a lot of followers on any given social network and hire them as a spokesperson. You can get lucky, and an influencer may love your product so much that they'll talk about it for free. It has happened, but again, that is kind of a little fluke thing. And it takes a little work to get your product or service in front of the influencer that you want to help you. And again, I have a recent article on my blog on an excellent example of how influencer marketing works. And about going viral. Going viral is a fluke. You can't plan to go viral. You know, the good thing is to plan it out and be awesome. For B2B, the best place to network and find influencers is on LinkedIn. So I do highly recommend you take that LinkedIn webinar on Thursday, and I might just be there too. So watching, I always say, I don't know everything. There's always somebody else who figured something else out and has a different strategy that I can learn from. So you got to keep open to, to learning. Excuse me. Facebook. Facebook hasn't changed its mind on the algorithm change that happened back in March of 2018. So don't expect to get much organic exposure of your business page's posts unless you pay for the reach. Nevertheless, share your blog articles and post regular, organic, non-paid content. So this helps with search engine optimization, or SEO. But be aware that, again, they won't get as much reach as the paid posts. I've got a lot of people saying this, well, I used to get, 1,000 people reach, and then all of a sudden I'm only getting like 50. It's like, well, that's their algorithm change. They give more visibility to posts from individuals rather than business pages, so they can make money. That's how they exist. Okay, mentioned this before, know your competition. So if your competition is not using social media regularly or are blogging less than weekly, you can bump them off the first page of Google and put yourself there by posting on social daily and blogging more often. Any competitive research you may have done before 2020 needs to be redone. Don't underestimate the tech savviness of your competition. Most have been forced to embrace technology this year. So you've got to keep up with your competition. So you've got to see what they're doing on social media, see how often they're blogging, how many followers do they have, what are they posting? Are they doing stories? Are they doing videos? Okay, this is what you're up against. So, and this is very important. I mean, I have a client that decided to launch a business in a very saturated market. And he says, well, I'm different. I'm like, yeah, right. But you still have to compete with everybody else that's already out there in this space, so if you watch Shark Tank, they bring this up all the time. You've got, the space is really hard to get into, so, but, it's not that it's impossible. It's just, it's a difficult climb. All right. Diversity. Yes, showing cultural diversity is a good idea in your marketing. However, it's more important that your marketing reflect your target audience. If you determine, for instance, that your target market is over 40, then use pictures and videos that show diverse older folks, not youngsters. Okay, user-generated content. And this is kind of goes with success stories. So one of the best advertisements you could ever get is happy camper customers using your product or service. So encourage them to send you pictures or videos of themselves, but let them know that it will be used in marketing and ask for permission. You can also encourage them to post their pictures on the social networks and tag your business. So like this picture, this is Love Pop itself that did it, but this picture was probably posted and they tagged Love Pop, and that's how they got it. So and that's the and that's the trick, to encourage people to tag you if they're happy with your business or service. Social listening. Okay, monitor social media using tools like Hootsuite or TweetDeck, and watch when and how your competition posts online, as well as how your target market and industry influencers use the networks. On Twitter, you can create private lists and you can add people to it and they won't see that you've added them. And you can watch what they post. Another place to do social listening is in groups. Both LinkedIn and Facebook have groups. What's important is to search for and join groups where your target audience is, as well as potential referral sources. On Facebook, some groups may let you join as your business page. Check the group's rules and respect them. Make sure your profiles are updated and accurate before you start requesting to join groups. The group owners will check you out to make sure you're legit and not going to spam them. Know your audience. So if you're trying to reach everybody, you'll reach no one. Clearly define your target marketing niches. You can have more than one target market audience. Then do some research to learn all you can about them. And a lot of times this research, you just have to Google it. Just Google, where are millennials, which social network are millennials hanging out in? And when you bring up the Google results, look for the most current. Anything before 2020 is going to be useless to you. So you have to make sure that you've got the latest research that's out there, and a lot of it's available for free. Focus on the user experience, or UX. Okay, the UX is everything a potential customer touches from their initial website visit to the conversion. That's whatever you want them to do, whether it be buy something, download something, get on a list, sign up for a newsletter, sign up for a webinar, whatever you want them to do. That's the call to action. So check your website and UX in all web browsers and mobile devices to make sure everything looks and works well. A bad UX will cost you sales. I want to bring up pop-ups here. Personally, I hate pop-ups. And if I'm on my tablet and I go to a website to read an article, and the first thing that pops up is a pop-up, and then I can't find the little X to shut it down, that makes me mad. I mean, if I have to read that article, I will go and turn the thing around different ways to find the X to get it out so I can read the article. And when the logical thinking is, how do I know if the content in this article is what I need and what this business has interests me? I'm not going to sign up for something if I just landed on your website for the first time and you won't even let me read the article. So if you're going to use pop-ups for a call to action, set it up so they come up at the end when someone's ready to leave, or they scroll down to the bottom, and it comes up on the side, or it pops up in the bottom. So it's not really conspicuous. They can read the article without having to shut it off, close it or whatever. Just make the user experience good. A good user experience, and people will stay longer on your website. They're more likely, the longer they stay, the more likely they are to do something. All right, empathy and emotional marketing. Okay, be aware on how your target market's pain points may have changed and how you can help them. Show people that you empathize with what they're going through. However, see how your target audience views the world. Put yourself in their shoes. And keep your biases and political leanings aside. Keep personal and business separate. Okay, this is really important to do, especially today. Everything is so volatile right now. You don't want to offend anybody. Okay, some people have shot themselves in the foot because they've taken a side. And I know sometimes people are passionate about the politics and what's going on, but keep business and personal separate. You're going to ruin your business if you really start taking sides out there. Back in World War I, Switzerland was in the middle of Europe and they were neutral. So I say, be like Switzerland. You're neutral. You don't take sides. You just want to promote your business, but you want to understand what your target market is going through. Trust and credibility. There is a lot of deception out there. People want to know who the real person is behind the brand or the company name. Authenticity, credibility, honesty, disclosure, transparency, and trust are very important to consumers. As a small business owner, establishing your expertise and knowledge is key to gaining respectability and sales. People buy from whom they know and trust. And where to start with credibility is on your LinkedIn personal profile. And they've got a webinar coming up in a couple of days on this. Isn't that convenient? You need to have a nice headshot with your full name. Your company logo should be on your company page, and be listed in your personal experience. So like this is my personal, and this is SCORE's company page. So I'm a manager of SCORE's company page. Never create a personal LinkedIn profile in the name of your company or use anything but your professional looking picture on your profile. Keep the animals, party, travel, family shots on Facebook and Instagram. However, I heard an expert say recently that with the new LinkedIn stories, it's okay to get a little behind the scenes, personal, casual. And since more folks are working from home, it has become a little bit more casual. But because no one is networking in person, LinkedIn has become the place to make new connections and show off your expertise. So post relevant industry related articles, on your company page. Make sure everything is filled out and that you're bringing that your branding is consistent. Your company page should be an extension of your website. So, and did you know that you can invite your connections to like your company page? I'm sure that she'll talk about that in the webinar on Thursday. Transparency. Okay, on Facebook, in the About section, you can add yourself and other pertinent people of your team. On Twitter and Instagram, share pictures or videos of yourself in action. Blog regularly and use your full name. Have your bio on your website. Take credit for your expertise. Share articles on social media and repurpose them on LinkedIn. Evolution. Social media networks evolve with the times, and your marketing should too. If your budget is tight and you can't afford to hire somebody to manage your social media for you, I'm going to give you some tips to help you handle it all and keep your sanity. If you do decide to hire someone, make sure the person has experience in marketing on social media, not just posting on it. I have a former client who can say, why can't I hire a high schooler? Because they don't know how to market on Facebook. And this marketing is an essential function of your business. Don't give this job to someone with no marketing knowledge or expertise. Okay, so before you start doing anything, you have to clearly define your target market niche, and you can have more than one target audience. Okay, and then do your research. Where are they hanging out? Talked about that. Then plan your marketing in monthly campaigns and be prepared to change them if needed. Okay, be sensitive to what your target audience is going through. Make sure you set SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Set goals each month and adjust the goals for the next month based on your analytics. Focus on one objective at a time. Don't try to do everything at once. If you try to juggle too many things at once, you're liable to drop some through a crack. I've been coaching a gal who wrote a book that's really good for people who have been like laid off of work and, and that kind of thing. But she also does children's books. And she says, well, what about this? And I want to do this. And then, wait a minute. Right now, your first book is needed. So that's the one you want to focus on, one objective at a time. If you try to do everything, it's not going to work. Something's going to fall through the cracks, and you don't want to do that. Okay, once you've established the first thing, get that going, then go on to the next one. Okay. Get creative. Create eye-catching graphics and or videos with your marketing message and calls to action. You always and always think when you're creating the marketing messages, again, putting yourself in your target market shoes, because they're thinking, what's in it for me? Okay, how are you going to solve my problem? So that's what you need. Your marketing messages have to reflect that. And again, they have to catch the people's attention. So color is a big thing. And I have an article about color psychology on my website too that you can go check out. And there are a lot of free tools online that you can use. And if you find that you're not very creative, because it's not everyone is, it's a right brain, left brain thing, hire someone. Don't be afraid to admit that you can't do it all yourself. All right. Don't post erratically. Okay, have a posting schedule, and your analytics and insights will tell you when the optimum time to post each is for each network. There are several free tools to help you do this, like Hootsuite. Buffer is another one, and TweetDeck is by Twitter for Twitter. So for managing several Twitter accounts at once, I love TweetDeck. Then monitor everything. Respond to comments and queries within a reasonable amount of time. People who message you on social media expect a response in a few hours, if not faster. Watch and respond quickly to bad reviews. Okay, it's diffuse the bad and encourage the good. You can use a tool like Hootsuite to monitor all your social accounts in one place. And analytics are very important, and they give you a lot of information. So review your analytics and insights at the end of each month to see if you've reached your goals. Take note of what worked and what didn't work, but don't get bogged down or overthink the data. Okay, analytics can get really, really deep, especially if you have an analytical mind, you can just, go nuts with the analytics. But stick to the basics, like how many people visited my website, how many people converted, how many new followers did I get on the social networks, how many which posts got the most engagement, likes, comments, shares on any of the social networks, because that'll tell you what content your audience is liking, and then at that point plan for the next month. Okay, what's your strategy? And I didn't mention email marketing, but that's still a major thing too. So you want to get people to your website and get them on that email list so you can market to them. And and don't be overwhelmed. Okay, all in all, no one knows what the new normal will be in 2021. We don't know how having a vaccine will affect people's social interactions. My best advice is to monitor the networks and do that social listening. Watch your analytics and insights and stay abreast of your target audience's changing needs, wants, pain points, and problems. You then must be ready to pivot and change in order to better meet them. And like I said, I have a lot of articles on my website on everything having to do with digital marketing. So they're there. So we've got a lot of time for questions.
Excellent. Thank you, Giselle. We have a number of questions in the Q&A, and there's some really good ones. The first one that we've got is, can you explain how to do an ad buy versus managing your own social media accounts?
Okay, you can actually do, well, let me clarify this. Okay, so there's paid advertising, and then there's organic or non-paid marketing. I say advertising is part of marketing. Marketing is the umbrella and advertising is underneath it. So advertising is when you actually spend money to gain reach online, which that could be Google ads, that could be Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whichever network you deem that's where your target market is hanging out. Then organic marketing is doing blogs and posting content that you create, or you can share relevant content from other what I call trusted sources that are relevant to your business or industry, but are not direct competitors. So that's the difference. Sometimes organic marketing is not enough, like specifically for like a startup. Okay, nobody knows you. You don't have a following on social media yet, so you kind of need to get that reach, which is getting that visibility and exposure out there. So that would be that would be the best thing to spend a little money in that case. And you don't have to spend a lot of money, for like $25, you can, increase your reach by several thousand on any one of the networks. So if you have, let's say, $100 budget for the month, I would test which networks best work for you to reach your target market. You'll spend 25 on each, for a certain amount of time. Always cover a weekend when you do your advertising, and then see which one brings you in the results, and then stick with the ones that work.
Excellent. Thank you. So tying into that from John is a question that says, can you talk a little bit about effective amounts to spend on Facebook?
Of time, you mean?
I'm thinking it's probably money, but John, if you want to drop a note and clarify that.
Again, it depends. Okay, so Facebook has a tool, and I got to tell you, if you're going to do paid advertising in Facebook, it's best they offer free coaching to help you put the best ad together and then choose the best audience to get the best results, because obviously they want you to be successful. I forgot what their link is, but if you go into Facebook's advertising thing, and they'll pop up because they want to help you, so you schedule a 30-minute session with one of them, and then they'll look at your advertising and see if it works or not. Now, the cost per click, okay, that's pay-per-click advertising. You have a cost per click that you set a budget for. So let's say I want to spend $50 on that. Now, part of that $50 goes to, I want to reach 100,000 people in this age bracket, in this geographic area, and then for this length of time. And so, but then what's left over of that budget, you get that cost per click in there. And that will vary depending on the competition for your target market, and the keywords that you use and things like that. So you could be spending $3 per click. So every time somebody clicks on the ad, that is deducted from the total amount spent on it. And again, it depends. It's, even when I was doing the paid advertising for SCORE, and that's 100% B2B, business to business. We tried Twitter, we tried LinkedIn, and we tried Facebook. So we spent the same amount of money for I think a 2-week ad promoting workshops and mentoring. And Twitter and LinkedIn, hardly anything. Facebook, on the other hand, we got results. Thinking like Facebook is not all B2C, business to consumer. But the thing is like everybody is on Facebook. So it's the biggest network. So if you do well-targeted paid advertising, you can, reach directly your target market. Now, time-wise, okay, I would say if you deem that Facebook is your major network, I would say about 15, 20 minutes, a day, just checking your messages, notes, things like that. You don't want to ignore them, especially if on your Facebook business page you have message us. Well, you've got to check them, maybe twice a day. Just go in there and check to see if you have any messages, or make sure you've got your notifications on, because if that's going to be a major way for people to contact your business, you need to monitor it and make sure you respond in a timely manner. I've seen people set that up and then totally ignore it. And I'm like, that's like the worst thing you could do, because that just hurts your reputation, period. So, and then people will tend to message you and contact you through their favorite source. So if they have a question for you and they're sitting on Facebook, more than likely, they're not going to go to the website and search for the answer. They're going to ask you directly on Facebook. So that's one of the reasons you need to spend a little time on it.
All right. So the next question is, what platforms for blogs do you suggest?
I recommend WordPress. It's the most popular platform for the hosted WordPress. So you own everything. So it's your website, and you can fairly easily set up your own. It's a WordPress is really good because there's a lot of free plugins that are available to help with search engine optimization, to help with social sharing, to and just do blogging. It's like it's the best platform out there. Now you can, if you're tight on a budget and you don't have, you can get a domain name, and for I think $60, go to the free WordPress, which is wordpress.com, and start there. The only thing is you're limited to branding and customization there. If you host, on your own, like with GoDaddy or SiteGround, I host on an ISP, internet service provider, called Lightning Base. Then you pay for, you're renting the space on their server to host your pages there, but I do recommend WordPress.
Quick question that came up was, what social media platforms or what was a website that you mentioned to monitor all your social media platforms at one place?
Hootsuite. Hoot, like the owl, and SUITE, Hootsuite.
And Hootsuite has a free version and they have paid versions.
Yeah. Yes, with the free version, you can monitor up to 3 platforms. So I usually do personal LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook Business. And it also has the ability to give for free. You get 2 automations of RSS feeds. So for instance, on Score, I have everything from small business trends posting automatically to their Twitter account. So as soon as something is published, it goes automatically to, it gets posted on Twitter. So with the free account, you're allowed 2 automations on that. But they have, you can set them up and monitor everything, monitor your posts, schedule stuff out, which is great. And so you can start with the free account. And so I highly recommend Hootsuite.
Okay, I'm gonna jump ahead on a question because I think it may take a bit of time, and it's a really good question. Laurel asks us, how can you stay updated on all the new technology when things change so quickly?
Okay, well, it depends on what technology you want to keep up with. Okay, again, like I just mentioned, small business trends. They cover everything having to do with small business, which includes technology and marketing with ideas and, this year I've seen everything from, how to do a home office and how to be more productive, doing calls, and a lot of things. So I like that one for small business stuff in general. And then you've got, there's several others. Social media today covers digital marketing, and that's another one that covers like basically everything, all digital marketing. There's Social Media Examiner is another one, and they also have a podcast that you can listen to. In fact, I just listened to the LinkedIn one, and so there's several ones out there that are really good, with the latest stuff. And then if you have a question, like, should I do this, should I do that, just Google that and the answer is going to come up. So, and again, when you're doing that, look for the most recent content, and that's what Google tries to do. It'll pull the most recent content on there that matches your search term.
Okay. Another question: how do you suggest to collect analytics on stories, since they last a limited time?
Well, stories don't really have a call to action. And on Instagram, you'll get, on Facebook, you'll get information like this person, because I've seen it in my personal story. So this person viewed your story. You can't really, unless you do paid advertising on Instagram, links don't work in any of their posts. You can put your URL in there, but that actually hurts the reach. So you could, I usually tell people to make sure your URL on all of your graphics. And then it's on people know on LinkedIn to go to the bio, to go to the website. But so you can't really put a link in there. But they will tell you how many people viewed it, so you do get that. And if you're on Instagram, you need to connect it to your Facebook business page, and you'll get more analytics on and insights on Instagram.
Excellent. Another question is, can you explain how to best use hashtags in posts? Should you have a lot or keep it to a small amount?
Well, yeah, on Twitter, you're limited to 280 characters. So on Twitter is the one where you really get trending hashtags. So every day, like right now, if you go on Twitter, you're going to see Tuesday thoughts trending. Now that's a very generic one, and I use that one regularly to just get exposure. It's very generic and get exposure. You can create your own hashtags and also use hashtags with the major keywords that pertain to your business, that are relevant to your business. So like, for instance, for SCORE, I use hashtag small biz, B-I-Z, and small business and entrepreneur and hashtag startup, so on Instagram and Facebook, you are limited to 30 hashtags, and they will tell you that, on Facebook, you'll see that at some point, if you got a whole slew of hashtags, the last couple of them may not look like they're active, and that's because you've reached your 30 limit already. So you've got to delete some, and Instagram will tell you you're only allowed 30 hashtags. They won't even let you post it. So that's the only thing. Use them consistently. And again, I have an article with a video on how to take advantage of what's trending on Twitter using hashtags. And every month I do an article of what's going to be trending with holidays and observance days and awareness days in each month. So for instance, coming up is Cheese Lovers Day, okay? And my chiropractor did a video on why, how he had a cheese intolerance and or sensitivity. And so every year when that comes around, I make sure I have scheduled that post to go out for him with hashtag Cheese Lovers Days, so this is a cheese lover who can't eat cheese. So and they may sound stupid, but they trend on social media, hashtag donut day and all different ones like that. So that's what you want to, you want to take advantage of those and plan ahead and schedule ahead.
So Giselle, we're getting close on time, and there's one question on here that I had, wanted to make sure I asked, and a few other people have brought up a similar question. So when you look at social media as a small business owner, there's so much to do, and that might not be their wheelhouse. Their strength is what they started the business for. And right. So two questions in this, hopefully we can answer them in the time we have remaining. But one is, if I have a limited budget, what should I focus it on? And then two, what is a good resource if I'm looking to just hire a social media person for my business, whether it's a part-time or full-time, but what can I do to, what's the best way to find somebody to help manage this?
LinkedIn to hire somebody. That's LinkedIn. That's the best place, or Indeed, any of the regular hiring programs, but definitely look for somebody with marketing experience, that they took marketing classes in college, and hopefully they've had some experience actually doing marketing for a company. Now, as to the time, that's basically it. So what you need to go through the steps I went through. Who's your target market? Do some research. Determine, the first month is going to be the most time consuming one, because if you haven't really done it before, you haven't blogged before, so it's going to take a lot of sweat equity in the first 30 days to get everything going. And but you can track where people are coming from to your website. So if you see that you're getting more people from Facebook than LinkedIn, then that means you want to focus more of your time and effort over on Facebook. For an e-commerce site, if you're getting more people from Instagram or Pinterest, so, and they're about equal, then you want to spend more time over there. So your analytics are going to tell you, and also use the tools and learn how to do, you can learn how to do it yourself. And again, like anything that you're learning, it's going to take more time in the beginning, but once you're used to it, it'll take you less time down the line. If you're growing your social media following, and it takes time, you got to spend maybe about 90 minutes a day on the social network, following people, joining groups, responding to other people's posts that will get you in front of people. So that's, it's going to take time. Blogging takes time. Planning out your content marketing takes time. Producing videos takes time. So, and you can hire all that out. And again, it depends on what they charge, depends on the expertise and what you need done. And again, planning it out. In fact, that's where I would recommend working with a SCORE mentor. So, doing all your planning, setting goals and that kind of thing, they can guide you. They can't do anything for you, but they can guide you in the right direction, based on your budget, on where to spend it, and then I do one-on-one coaching too, and one-on-one training, so that's basically how I help people out. And I do a free, in fact, if you go to my website, you can anybody can schedule a free 15-minute phone consultation. I'll look at your site and do a small brainstorming session of what you need to do. And it all depends on basically three things: your budget, the time that you're willing to spend on learning this stuff and doing it yourself, and then your ability to understand and grasp technology. Some people, and I have a dear friend who was a technophobe, and I would teach her and she would forget it in 5 minutes. So there's some people that just don't grasp the technology, and don't be ashamed. That's just the way you are. I'm on the other hand, I grasp it like this. I'm like, okay, I got it, no problem. Brand new software program, I got it, no problem. But not everybody is like me, so, but if you're willing to learn, I can teach you how to do anything. So that's not a problem. But that's it. You have to realize, well, I don't know how to do this. I don't have time to learn. I need to hire someone. So you can hire a freelancer, you can hire somebody in-house. So it just depends on your budget and what will work best for your company.
Excellent. Thank you, Giselle. We are right on time. We're going to have to go ahead and wrap up. Great questions. If you have questions for Giselle, you can contact her on her website. She's got her website listed there. You can reach out to myself or to any of my team through our website as well at azcommerce.com. We are excited that you were here. Again, we're going to wrap up. We appreciate Giselle and her time and her expertise, so thank you very much. Just a reminder, we have our PPP boot camp tomorrow at 11 a.m. and then we are back with our LinkedIn presentation, our LinkedIn boot camp on Thursday at 9 a.m. So Wednesday 11 a.m., Thursday 9 a.m. We look forward to having you with us. Again, Giselle, thank you. And everybody have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.